afternoon, everyone. I'm M DADM from a consulting company. Members of our company also have Amy Lee, Zhenzhen Meng, Ye Xiaoying, and Sam. Today, we will talk about how to improve the employee performance at ANZ Mobile Lending based on the given factors. Before starting today's speech, there are two questions we would like to ask. What factors can enhance workplace productivity, and what are the factors that affect employee performance? I believe there are lots of answers coming up because of the importance. So, in order to find it out, we need to discover what factors are the best measure of job performance. Although there are various methods, here we use a powerful method for examining the relationship between an outcome and one or more factors. We will identify the best combination of factors to predict employee performance and give advice to managers. After I introduce the background information of the company, Sam will give some general information about the factors. Next, Amy will discuss about our results and output. In addition, Ye Xiang will provide some examples to clearly explain how these factors affect the employee performance. Finally, Zhenzhen will make a conclusion and give some management suggestions, and there will be time for questions at the end of our presentation. Firstly, let's talk about background information of the company. The company has approximately equal proportions of male and female employees, and 1/3 of them are in management. Interestingly, employees have the average monthly work hour of 200, which is 24 hours higher than the national average. But only 9% of the employees have a fairly high salary. As the graph on the right shows, this is possibly because most employees have been working at the company for only 2 to 4 years. Additionally, three most popular departments are human resource, operations, and warehouse, while sales is the least populated sector. Now, Sam will continue to speak.
Now let's have a look at the last evaluation score. It is essentially skewed to the left and very spread out. The employee with the best performance had a score of 1, while the worst performance one had a score of 0.36. Overall, the average score is 0.73. There are essentially 4 factors affecting the evaluation score: percentage of work done remotely, the number of times LinkedIn profile visit, employees' engagement, and how close they are to the laptop. Start from the top left bar chart, a little more than half of the employees having 80% of their work done remotely. On the top right corner, about half of the employees have visited their LinkedIn profile less than 13 times per year, and then the proportion substantially decreased as the number of hits increased. The engagement, on the other hand, having majority of the employees show score between 2 to 4, which suggests that more of them feel fairly okay about being engaged with the company's activities. Lastly, for how close they are to the laptop, the histogram on the bottom right is left skewed, which suggests that low proportion of employees actually near their laptop. To visualize the relationship between evaluation score and the factor I mentioned earlier, we can make use of any graphs or chart. The box plot essentially allows us to compare the average and spread of the data between each group. The box contains 50% of the data, and the average is indicated by the line at the center of the box. For percent remote, we can clearly see that the 80% group has substantially higher average score than the other two, while the 40% group had the lowest evaluation score. For sensor proximity, employees who tend to be closer to the company laptop with sensor proximity of 1 to 5 have a considerably higher evaluation score than those who are more distant from laptop with sensor proximity of 6 to 10. For the scatter plot of LinkedIn hits, we can see that majority of the people are not obsessed about their LinkedIn profile. However, they still got a considerably high evaluation score. Lastly, for the engagement scatter plot, it suggests that the higher the engagement, the higher the evaluation score. Next, Amy will talk about our result and output when we actually make use of this factor to predict the evaluation score.
Hey guys, good afternoon. I'm Amy. I'm going to estimate the relationships over summary output. We start from ANOVA. ANOVA is a section of analysis variance. 4-degree freedom in regression. DF is K rate is 4. That means we have 4 predictors. They are percent remote, satisfaction remote, engagement, and sensor proximity. Observation is 524. We can go back to the data input. Yes, we can see 524 observations. N is 524, K is 4, N minus K is 519, N minus 1 is 523. So the purpose of regression is give us other variability and Y. as we wanted to know why these factors affect employee efficiency performance at a workplace. We measure the total variability is SS 15.30, summary S-square total, SSR is amount of regression 14.617, SSE is a residue. We run F-test. F-test is calculated for us by Excel. MSR over the MSE, 4-degree freedom denominator with 519-degree denominator. The important F result is 0. Now we come to R square. R square is representing 95% variance impact on mobile lenders' performance by percent remote satisfaction, remote engagement, and sensor proximity. And the last chart is coefficients. We look at coefficients. In here, we see a baseline is 0.0020 is a prediction of percentage of how affect the employee performance efficiency. So standard error, I have another word for it, which is tolerance. So that means there is a range you can have a mistake. T statistics. T distribution is n minus k equals 519. We can look up T table to get the result. Last step is equation. I like to put different numbers into the equation to clearly see the result, how different in between. So our equation is minus 0.002 plus 0.41 multiply 80. This is assumption number, and plus 0.01 multiply 6 plus 0.13 multiply 6 plus 0.002 multiply 5. The result is 34.188. So now I'm going to change engagement number from 6 to 7. We'll leave the rest of the number the same. So the result is going to be 34.318. I see the difference is 0.13, so that means any predictor number changed will impact on the result. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Amy. I'm Yexiang. I will explain the above data through an example and discuss the maximum of the evaluation data. Recently, we started our new business, mainly engaged in human resource management and headhunting. We are a strategic partner of ANZ Mobile Lending, outsourcing the company's human resources work. ANZ's key performance indicator assessment for the previous financial year has just completed. In alphabetical order, we selected data from 11 employees and calculated the results using our technique. This chart is the data we grabbed in the initial calculations. Under our technique, these 4 factors have positively affected employee performance evaluation, especially engagement and percent remote. The minimum is 0.4068 and the maximum is 1.027. In the raw data, the maximum employee performance is 1. However, we conclude that this indicator can greater than 1. In mainstream performance management systems, the KPI ceiling is 100 or 1, and other systems also set the maximum to 120 or unlimited to encourage employees. On the one hand, a capped index may reduce employee motivation. On the other hand, if there is no performance cap, it may increase the company's management costs. Should we adjust the floating ceiling? For ANZ, I think it is necessary. In the previous raw data, 19.5% of employee performance distributed between 0.9 and 1. In other words, this data can be higher than 1 after making appropriate adjustments. To better encourage employees, I think that a value greater than 100 should apply as an upper limit of performance indicators. From the perspective of controlling management costs, this should not be unlimited. So 110 or 120 can be used as an upper limit of the performance indicators. In any case, I think that the key performance indicators are just a means to achieve passionate and happy employees. Now, Zhenzhen will make final recommendations and summary.
Good afternoon, guys. I'm Zhenzhen. Now I will provide the suggestion for NZ mobile lending to improve their employee performance. As Amy mentioned before, the result can be affected by the value of x1, x2, x3, and x4. According to the equation, we can see that there are two coefficients are bigger than others. That's 0.408 and 0.135. So we set the initial condition for x1, 2, 3, and x4. The result shows on the tables. When the value 4% remote increased from 6 to 7, the result increased 16%, and the result increased 11% when the value of engagement increased from 6 to 7. Thus, NZ mobile lending need to increase the value 4% remote and engagement to increase their employee performance. In conclusion, my friend Manja and Sam provide introduction and general information for data, and Amy shows the result. Furthermore, Yexiang gives you the example to understand the mode. Lastly, we suggest that NZ mobile lending need to increase the value of engagement and percent remote to increase their employee performance. And does anyone has any questions?